Hello everyone, this is Heat 3 to the Grid Series Round 1. This is the last of the heats. We've come off the back of two fairly decent heats, P8 and P10, starting P12 in all three. So this is the last of the three heats, and then we'll move on to the final afterwards. Starting off in a minute, and we'll see if we have a decent kart or not. Should be alright, but we just need to try and hold off the two people behind us and make sure that no one manages to get past, so we can improve on this again. My little comment there saying that the kart's shocking. I was kind of right. It got a little bit better throughout, but on the whole it was pretty bad. It wasn't the worst, but it was manageable. So we're just going to have to deal with that throughout the race. So we're just waiting to be gridded up now. So I will leave you with this, and I will put the starting time on the screen now, in case you want to skip ahead, because this bit can be a little bit boring.
You scared me then, Silky.
Yeah, so it's taking a little bit longer than normal to get gridded up. That's just because the guys that were trying to put everyone into grid positions, something happened over there, so it took them a little bit longer to get us all set up.
I didn't know whether the GoPro was recording. I'm getting paranoid that it keeps beeping and stopping the recording. Oh, so that's one from garage. My car, if you look, right, I'm pressing it down, look, pressing it down, pressing it down, pressing it down, no acceleration yet. No acceleration, there we go, there's the acceleration. Oh, we might be waiting here a while. I'm going to relax for a bit. So, how am I not 13? Never mind. I guess someone just left. Oh, Simbo's left. No! Simbo's left. Good start, please.
Right, 5 red lights, and away they go, and we all get away nicely. I get a fairly decent start here. As I say, they're a bit of a rubbish start, but fairly decent in my eyes. We're trying to make it do around the outside. We've got a bit of a run here. Get squeezed just a little bit into the barrier, which causes us to lose our run, and we just fall back into fourth position there. Pressuring the number 3 now. Are we going to be able to make a move after this car in front makes a mistake? A little bit of a wobble there as we manage to come through, and are we going to be able to make the position stick? So we go up the inside. Yes, we are. Up into P11 now. Bit of a little moment there as we take that corner a bit wide. I'll look for a little bit of a gap down the inside, but nothing seems to present itself, and that causes me to lose a bit of a position here. But am I going to be able to make it stick around the outside again? Yes, I am. So we're sticking to P11 now as we come up the hill over to the fast sweeping left-handers to see what we can do here. Closing up a bit to the car in front. Hopefully we can make a move quicker, and we'll just have to see how we can get on from here. Quick look behind me to make sure that I'm not under pressure, so that I know that I can advance further, trying to pressurise the guy in front. I'm keeping up quite well here, just got to make sure I leave enough space so that I can get a good speed through the corners. As I kind of take a tighter line in that hairpin there, just to get a better exit to come down this hill. And as you can see, a bit of a gap there because this big braking zone here, I don't really want to hit into him coming down. So we've just got to keep it nice and clean and hopefully get past soon. But as you can see now, they're both covering that inside line up so that I can't make the move that I did last round on, you know, getting through on the inside of that chicane there. So we're looking to make a move here. Are we going to be able to do anything on this? Going front swerving a little bit, but that's alright, it's not really affecting us. As we go into a spin and there's a crash for us, we get pinned into the barrier there.
Why is it always me that's crashing? Fucking hell. Oh, my wrist went snapping. Oh, he's going to get reset as well, isn't he? Oh.
Yeah, so that driver spun there due to his own fault, so he isn't going to end up getting reset as we go to yellow flags now. Trying to get a wider line there in case we go green, and I'm just going to floor it up the hill in hopes that it does turn green up the hill, but it doesn't, so we have to kind of back off a little bit then. But yeah, because he spun out of his fault, he doesn't get reset into position, which means that we're now up into P10. Did get a bit of a clatter on the way in, as I had nowhere to go, so I just had to kind of deal with that and snapped the wrist a little bit due to the steering wheel flicking, but nothing too major, as I could still carry on for the rest of the session. Bit of a slide there, but we managed to keep it nice and clean as we're really closing up to the car in front now. It's going to be a good battle between us both. As you can see, I'm really up his bumper now, just kind of let him know I'm there and hopefully pressure him into making a mistake. But he keeps it nice and clean through turn 1 there. Coming up to turn 3 now. How is it going to look as we're coming? A little look behind me on that little exit there, as that's one of the points on the track where it's very nice to kind of just have a little glance behind you to see whether there's anyone pressurising you. And he's keeping it nice and clean through here, really defending quite nicely to make sure that I really can't do anything, and puts it quite close to the inside, quite last minute there, which is a good technique in this track to be defensive coming into that chicane, as it doesn't slow you down at all and it doesn't let the other driver behind you overtake you. As you can see now, really close here. I'm taking my normal line, he's taking his normal line, and he gets the initial bit of extra speed going through that corner as he takes a more wide line. Still keeping with him though. I'm just going to have to see if I can make do with this and try and find a way to get past him. Little bump there, sends him flying a bit, but he manages to keep out of the barrier, so nothing too harsh there. Just needed to make sure that if I got the position from that, I'd have to give it back, because I kind of, kicked him out of the way a little bit too much there. I tried to look for a little move there. He left the door a little bit open and decided to close it last minute, which is no fault of his own because he has the right to that line. Just having to try and make some desperate moves here to try and make up a position, as long as they're legal and no harm is done. So we've just got to make sure that I look for any other moves, and I know that with my abilities I'll be able to make up the time again if I decide to go for a bit more of an out there move that might lose me a little bit of time if I try and get it wrong. So just got to try and stick with the kart really throughout these laps, just to keep it nice and clean. As you can see, Marshall standing in the middle there just to make sure that there's no contact, as I've got a bit of a run there but don't manage to make it stick because his kart seems to be quite fast on the straights, pulling away from mine a little bit. I'm just trying to stay really close to him now, just trying to analyse what he's doing, look for any sort of different moves that he's making, and I thought about just trying to make him defend on a corner where I would then be able to overtake. So if I make him think that I'm going to do this every lap to try and overtake and then switch to doing it normally, then I could be able to get the overtake done, but I wasn't thinking about that too much, so I didn't really want to risk it. And I'm not that clever actually when I'm racing. I don't think that much ahead, which I probably should need to, but I just haven't at the moment, so I might try and test that water in round 2. Looking for a dive to the inside, but I have to brake out of that unfortunately because he didn't see me. He's got the right to that line in the corner, so there's no point in me trying to make an outlandish move and cause some damage to the car and himself if I get it wrong. So just really looking for any sort of gap that opens up. As you can see, just trying to really get to the inside, trying to pressurise as much as I can here, but it's not looking hopeful at the moment. As you can see, I got a little run there, but again he doesn't see me, so I have to back out of it. Unfortunate there, because if I got a little bit closer to him or just let him know that I was there, he probably would have moved along a little bit and given me some space, but there's nothing you can do about that. You've just got to deal with it and get on with it and try and find another moment to overtake. And there's the checkered flag, so that will be P10 overall. Not a bad race, but not the best either. It could have been a lot better. I've just got to be more stern with my overtakes and try and look for a better move and create those chances, but I think it will be a good round 2 and I can really learn from my mistakes here. So yeah, in lap now, and I'll let everything cool off, and then I have a bit of a break until the final, and I will be on the first session back, so we won't be able to see all of it, but yeah, that's just how it is. I'm still trying to figure out the GoPro, so some sessions might be cut a little bit short if I'm doing longer sessions like this, because then I won't be able to charge it up enough for it to be able to run the entire session. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed that. It was a very interesting race, but I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for the final.